everyone, it's Margaret with Creative Stamping with Margaret. Today's project features the Zany Zoo Bundle. This is a July card class, so if you ordered a kit to go, you will have all of the materials. They're in the mail now, so they should be arriving any day. So you will have the materials to replicate the cards. There are 4 cards. This is one of the 4 cards in the series, and you will just need to supply your stamps and the ink, since I'm not allowed to send you stamped images. But there again, it's the Zany Zoo, and it's from the annual catalog, and that's on pages 46 and 47 in the annual catalog. We're also using the Coordinating Designer Series paper, which is called Zoo Crew. Fun paper. What's so nice about the paper, let's see if I have some handy. What's nice about this paper, you see all these different images. Well, some of them have coordinating dies, so it makes it, here's the llama that we're using. I guess that's a llama, but it sort of looks like a cross between a llama and a sheep. But just a lot of different fun characters. And then the reverse side is black and white, different designs, which are really nice for using on cards as well. The materials that I'm using for the card, you'll find the dimensions that I've cut things, cut pieces, as well as the list of, which on this there's not a whole lot, but you'll find all of the list of the materials in the description of this video. So you don't have to worry about taking notes to try and determine what I'm using. But I thought this You're Too Wonderful card was just so much fun, and I've used the llama that I die cut. Then we've used the Radiating Stitches dies to add some interest to the die cut pieces, and of course our black and white checked ribbon. And on the interior of the card, the You're Too Wonderful, I wanted to leave the interior blank because I wasn't sure exactly what kind of a note I'll write inside. A lot of times I'll leave my interiors blank because I like to write a personal note on the inside. But that Radiating Stitches just adds a nice touch to that interior panel. So we have our Petal Pink card base, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored in the middle at 5 1/2. Then we have, that's our panel for the interior. I'm going to pull that to the side. Then we also have that panel in basic black for a layering panel. Then we have the Lemon Lime Lolly. There again, all of these use that Radiating Stitches die, so it just adds a nice touch to that. But I love this this lemon lolly. I like lemon lime as well, but I really like this yellow. It's just such a nice color. Then you will have your ribbon. And if you ordered the kit, all of the materials are in the envelope, so be sure to turn it upside down. In a small bag, I have also put our die cut of the little stool, and I did use the adhesive sheet on the back of that. You'll also have a little cut flower. Those die cut flowers, they are easily lost, so that's why I put them in a bag, plus your lemon lolly embellishments to add. We have our Petal Pink circle, which was used with the punch for the Petal Pink, and then the small Radiating Stitches. And then, of course, as you see, we have our llama, which is just die cut from that DSP. You'll need Memento Black for the sentiment. And then if you notice on the llama, I did take some of the Petal Pink and I just lightly touched around the face and the ears of the llama. So what I like to do first is just go ahead and add our layer and get our front ready. So let's add our black layering panel. I've had those radiating stitch dies for some time, and this, I think, is the first time I've used them. Oh, I got a little bit of black on this. Let's see if I can use an eraser. Oh, it is. It's just a little touch, so that will... Well, I don't know where the black is coming from. I keep getting it on my hands, touching, but I think this will cover it, and it does. Perfect. Make sure I don't have it all over my hands. I have no idea where I picked up the black. You know how that is. Usually it's red. If I'm using a red ink, I usually have it all over my fingers. But I still have it because it's now on this piece. Let's see if I can get that brushed off before it dries on there too much. I have pull out my little mono eraser that takes the ink. Oh, there it is. I'm going to step away for just a moment and clean my finger before I proceed. There, I think I got that. Thank you for being patient there. We're just gonna, we'll squiggle this over so that it hides that some. And now I'm going to take my Petal Pink blends and just lightly color the face and right inside the ears of the llama. It just sort of sets that off just a little. And you notice I'm more or less dotting versus really doing a full cover so that a little white comes through that as well. And the one thing you'll notice, I took a scrap piece, I had some little pieces of that designer series paper from after doing the die cuts, so I decided to use those for cutting the vase that goes onto our table holding the flower. So we'll pull the adhesive backing off of our little table. And these are tiny pieces, so I'm just forewarning you, they don't take a lot of adhesive when you're assembling this little piece. And I can tell I already have a touch too much there, so what I'm going to do is touch my flower to the back of that. Let me just, I should have my tweezers out, but did not think to do that. And now I'm going to add that little flower. Put in, if you ordered the kit to go, you'll probably have the 3 flowers because the die actually cuts 3 flowers at once. And I decided just to use one of the flowers on the card. But if you want to use all 3, you do have them in there to do that. So now we can add our llama, and I have it propped up using Stampin' Dimensionals. I have a friend who's a knitter, so this card is going to be, this character is perfect to use for creating a card for her. So now let's stamp our sentiment. And I do have it popped up with dimensionals, so let me just put a couple on the back here. And then if you notice, I have our ribbon placed behind our sentiment. And to do that, I'm just putting a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus up in the corner. I'm not even tying a bow. I'm just zigzagging my ribbon across to sort of form a bow as such. And then I will add adhesive, and I'm going to use the glue dot, the Stampin' Dimensionals again to add that, and I'm going to put a Stampin' Dimensional on there as well to hold it in place, and it'll be sort of the center of my piece, so that should help. On this card I left it flat. I just glued it directly down. But after doing so, I decided I think I like it better with a little bit more elevation. Then the last thing to do for the front of the card is to add our little lemon lolly embellishment pieces. Whoops. Let me pull in something to help with these small ones. I have misplaced my take your pick tool. I think I left it at another location when I was crafting, so I've got to locate that because I sure miss it. It's perfect when you're doing little things like adding embellishments. So that completes the front of our card. All we need to do is add your center panel, and we have that card completed. I hope you've enjoyed this project, our Zany Zoo, You're Too Wonderful, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Check out the other videos in this series. There are 4, and each uses different characters from the Zany Zoo bundle. Again, thanks for joining me.